I found out that my numbers for calculating the actual raw profit for the company and for us individuals is wrong because I tried to use a formula. But that doesn't affect our commission because though I tried to figure out the total profit that was brought in, just so you guys can know, like, okay, we brought in $5,000 this month in overhead costs. The sacred number is the profit after the 20% overhead, because that's what we get commission on. Those I'm never wrong on, and you can see the breakdown of those numbers. Every single one has 20% taken out of. So the only error is when I say, okay, this month it was 44 grand in profit. I had a formula wrong there. But there's nothing wrong with the actual commission of the numbers. However, I did notice that on one of Roger's sales, I counted it as a safer CBD vape cart. That's $4 when it should have been Oasis, which is like $2.75. So here we go. Here's Roger's profit after the 20% overhead. All right. Mark Rathburn, it's $348 times the 20%. It equals 4.17. All right. So that's good. Here was the incorrect one for Roger. Roger actually is going to make like another $100. All right, so I originally counted it as a safer vape cartridge. So $4 times the 20% equals $4.80. All right, 175 times $4.80 equals 840. So that's wrong. So when I redo the numbers for that one and count it as an Oasis vape cart, Oasis vape cartridge is $2.75 times the 20% overhead equals $3.30 per vape cartridge. So $3.30 times 1.75 is this number here. All right, so factoring all that in, I adjusted that. Here's Roger's big Delta 9 gummy order. It's 20 cents cost times the 20% overhead that equals 24 cents. Here's the numbers. So the corrected numbers for Roger these are the three numbers after the 20% overhead. All right. And this is what Roger's commissionable profit is. All right. So let me just show you real quick. So remember this number, 12,182 with that Oasis safer thing. This was actually what I said his commission was. So his commission went up ever so slightly, whatever the difference is between that, but pretty nominal. Okay, so now let's talk about raw profit. So here's where we start to enter the realm where my formula was wrong. And I'm going to show you my formula after. It's kind of a clusterfuck, but I'll give you my final determination on what I should do going forward at the end. So his raw profit, this is just actual costs going to either Safer or going to Oasis. This is pretty easy to figure out as well. Okay, I added the correct Hayden Meek 1 order to reflect the Oasis raw cost of $2.75. All right, so Roger's raw profit is that figure, plus this is the raw profit from his Delta 9 gummies. All right, so his real raw profit is $13,248, when before I had this number here, which is because of this formula error that now I'm going to do my best to attempt to explain. So before I say this, I believe that since calculating you guys' total raw profit, that doesn't actually affect me or any of the other salespeople when it comes to our commission. So I'm tempted to actually just not even record that anymore unless you guys absolutely need me to, because I've tried multiple formulas over a long period of time. It's hard to determine that number, and I'll try my best here to explain it. Okay, so this says with a corrected formula. This ain't corrected. All right, it's is over of equals the percentage over 100. All right, and I kind of use something similar on my spreadsheet. You can disregard this. This is just my 10% negotiation off of any wholesale orders that come through the website. I built a new little column. Just delete that, okay? So this was my interpretation of this formula here. But even when I do this correctly, so Roger's real profit after the 20% overhead is 12,182, as we saw right here. This is his real deal commissionable profit. But even when I put it through this formula, is over of equals percentage over 100. All right, 12,000. Okay, so you cross multiply, you cross those two, you cross these two. 80x equals that number. Divide both by 80. X is supposed to equal 15,228 in raw profit. That's even higher than the other kind of formula that I was using. So that shit's wrong, and I don't really even like calculating that stuff because it doesn't affect me. I mean, it might be good for you guys to know, okay, we put $6,000 in the company this month for overhead costs. But the only way I could possibly see doing that is by me doing all the numbers twice every single time. So I do our normal, legit, sacred numbers of the 20% overhead taken out to get what we get paid on. But then I'd have to do it all again, calculating all the raw profit for every single sale for every single person. That sounds like a bitch. It's already kind of stressful doing this stuff. But, if you guys are desperate to get those numbers, that's fine. But I would just recommend I just delete this freaking raw profit thing off of here. So it's impossible to lie about the revenue. It's impossible to lie about the profit over 20%. And, and this is another example of how that formula was wrong. This was the total company's profit after the 20% overhead. Sacred number. That's not going to be incorrect. All right. But after I do it, it's telling me $43,000 in raw profit when, I had it say $44,000. So I don't know. I don't like playing with numbers that I don't necessarily know what's going on with them. And if the only route is me doubling the amount of numbers I got to crunch every month, I'd be fine if you guys are chill with just dropping that. And then you guys can just enjoy the 20% overhead because that's significant. And, on a good month, I would make $1,000 more. On my record months, I would make $2,000 more if there was no 20% overhead. So it is powerful and it affects, the numbers, but it doesn't actually affect my commissions. So I'm down to drop it. And, but yeah, either way, I'll send you an adjusted spreadsheet of Roger's total, and he'll make, another $70 or whatever it is. All right, thank you very much. Feel free to subscribe, leave a comment below if you like this content. Tune in next month. April's numbers are going to be fire, and I look forward to providing you guys with more high quality content. Thanks again. Check out the link below in the description.